Here's my 2004 Jeep Wrangler with a 12-valve Cummins in it. Valve Cummins 6VT, whatever you want to call it. Came out of a 96 Dodge 2500. It's a P-pump motor, normally intercooled, but I didn't have enough room to run an intercooler, so I got a crossover tube off of a non-intercooled 12-valve. I had to have a buddy of mine modify that a little bit. Stock turbo right now. It's got 5x14 injectors. But that's good for what I need. I've messed with the pump a little bit. FOA coilovers. All the running gear, powertrain, everything came from the 96 Dodge 2500. The Dana 60 in the front, Dana 80 in the rear. It's triangulated 4-link in the front and dual triangulated in the rear. Full hydraulic steering. There's a side shift cylinder off a forklift. You got an orbital valve off of a forklift. Nothing too fancy. 42 super swampers. I did that back half kit, the R-Tech back half kit. All the brackets and stuff came from Barnes 4-wheel drive. I made the rear truss, and I bought the front. The front's R-Tech. Running glow shift gauges. Not really a fan of them. They're supposed to stay on the color that you choose, and when you turn it off, turn it back on, they're supposed to stay on it, and they don't. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. I'm not a big fan of them, but I've already spent too much money on them, so I'm gonna keep them for a while, I guess. To get this motor to fit, all I did was a 3-inch body lift to clear the firewall. I didn't cut anything on the Jeep except for the grill. And all I did was recess the radiator in. That radiator is out of a 66 Mustang. Both top and bottom ports are on passenger side, so it made routing the hose easy. These are FOA coilovers, 2.5s in the front, 2.0 in the rear. This thing, I take it in swamps. Not really a rock crawler. There's no rocks in North Florida, at least where I am. So that's why it's so tall. This here is eye level. I like it. It works well for what I do and my needs. Yeah, that's really about it. Built the rear bumper, incorporated into the frame when I did the back half kit. I'm running a 1410 CV joint. It's 23 inches long. Wheelbase of the Jeep's 115 inches. I think I did a total of like 23-inch stretch, I think is what it was. The only reason I really did that was to get this axle pushed back far enough. It's basically about as far as I could get it. I mean, I probably could have gone back another 6 inches or so, but then my tires would have been way out. But I moved that axle back, it's about as far as I could get it. So so that drive shaft wasn't so short. It's still, that's like a 20, 23, 22, 19, I don't remember, degree angle right there. It's only 23 inches long, so you can imagine the slope of that. But the front's really worked out really well, actually. Yeah. Harbor Freight winch does great. You don't got to spend big money on a winch, because that there I got on sale for 200 bucks, and it's lasted me 4 years of heavy hard wheeling, constantly underwater, and I haven't had an issue with it. I've only got about $2,000 in this whole build. I had a S10 that I took and traded for the 12 Valve Cummins 4-wheel drive. Hey man, stop, don't pee on my Jeep. I had 12 Valve Cummins 4-wheel drive I got in a trade for an S10. I took that, took everything I needed out of it, and then parted the rest of it out, and then parted the Jeep out, and used that to pay for the build. So I only came out of pocket about $2 grand on this thing. 22 years old, full-time student. I work 50 hours a week. And I built this on the weekends in 6 months. Obviously I don't have, that's my shed. I don't have no fancy garage. I built this thing in the grass over there. You don't need a big fancy shop, big fancy equipment to build something cool. Build something functional and that works well. Yeah, just figured I'd make a video of it after it's finally done. Let's see here, these fenders are Blue Torch fabrication DIY fenders that I made into Highline fenders and added this vent. You got flush mount LEDs underneath all 4 corners showing off the coilovers. And it helps a lot at night, just seeing ground, and out here in the swamp I like turning them on because I can see all the snakes where they're at before I get out. This thing does really good. It's really does really well for what I need it to do. I think it's got stock gears in it, I believe, are still the 354s that are in it. You can do 60 mile an hour no problem in 4th gear. Transfer case, well, transmission's an NV 4500. Transfer case is an NP 242 with a slip yoke eliminator I did from JB Conversions. And like I said, everything came from that Dodge. Stock shifters fit exactly, well, the Dodge shifters fit exactly in the Jeep stock locations. I didn't have to cut anything for that. Honestly, I was extremely surprised on how well this build actually went in, how well it fit. Like it, I don't know if Chrysler just keeps everything the same, but you know, it went in like it was made to be there. You can follow me on Instagram at 12valve.tj. That's where I post most of my videos, wheeling videos and pictures that we do right up here, usually in Osceola Forest or on the west side of Jacksonville with the Jeep Freaks. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, so I'm just gonna stop the video soon. Oh, one last thing. Since I did these fenders a while ago, I don't know, they're so small. The battery tray stuck out. I didn't like that. So I stuck the battery underneath the seat. I got a red top. I turned sideways. Stuck it underneath the seat. We were out riding yesterday, so I threw some towels down. I need to clean it. But yeah, it starts right up. This is the cable for the disconnect, the stupid disconnect for the Dana 60. It's got that 3-piece axle. I'm gonna upgrade that soon. I need to get a locker in the front. Also, I didn't finish explaining why I moved the wheelbase so far forward. The back's pushed back as far as it can go. And the front is basically right underneath the crank. A little bit in front of it. And I did that just to help center the weight of this thing so it wouldn't nosedive so bad. But I got my 4-link set up to where it doesn't have any anti-dive. I got really good anti-squat numbers. The thing does really well. This is my first build ever doing something like this. And it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I don't know, so all I gotta say is just get out there, and if you got a dream or a vision, you wanna do something, just get after it, and don't let people tell you that you can't. Because I can't tell you how many times I told you, people would tell me that 12 valve wouldn't fit in a Jeep, or it wouldn't work, it'd be too heavy. But this thing does phenomenal. Actually, I have probably overbuilt it for the stuff that we do out here. Appreciate you watching.